Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Shenaniderp server. So let's get started with exactly what we start with every single episode. The head placing ceremony. Da 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 da. Woohoo! Yesterday we had 182 subscribers. Today we have 187. That's a nice jump. And assuming the subscriber count is not broken like the video view count again, we need 3 more zombie heads and 2 more skeletons, because 7 minus 2 equals 5. So 182 to 187 is 5 more. So hey, welcome to the 5 new people, and I'd like to say hello to all of the others, and I hope you enjoy the show. Today we have somewhat of an interesting episode. It's kind of a blend between, I guess, Chrono Teaches and Shenaniderp. I don't know, but Space has given me a task to make a chicken grinder that does not leave experience points. Okay, and I mean, we could use, the turtle trick over there, but of course that would leave experience points. We could use the iron golem. How did he know I was recording? Oh, he must have seen me place the heads. Oh, they say hello. Space is actually looking to get into YouTubing himself, and he's got a great voice for it. But he's testing now, he's preparing, he's getting used to the whole talking while recording thing. Plus he has the whole Australian internet problem. Basically slow internet and data caps. So it might be a little while before he gets into it, and when he does, they might be few and far between with low resolution, because he's got to worry about the whole data cap thing, and I feel for him, man, I feel for him. So after a bit of work and a bit of troubleshooting, this is what I ended up with. Basically, it is a chicken-powered chicken spawner. So what happens is all the chickens fall into the collection bay, I guess, get pushed down here to the other set of water. I don't have a name for this stuff. Then they get pushed onto that transpositor right there. Now, normally they would just sit there, except other chickens will come in and push them off the transpositor into water, where they drowned, and then all their stuff falls in, well, to a transpositor there, and into a chest. And as we can see, it actually works pretty well. So, I'm going to show you guys how I made it. And what you will need is a bit of an open space. This will work. You'll need some blocks to use to make the frame, make the actual building itself. You'll need water. You'll need 2 transposers. Or if you're doing this in vanilla, yes, you can do this trick in vanilla, though there are no chicken spawners, so you'd have to use dispensers and hoppers and the comparators, and yeah, you could do it in vanilla. It's a little bit more complex, but you can do it in vanilla. But you would either need transposers or hoppers. You'll need pneumatic tubes, or hoppers, in the case of vanilla, and chest, someplace to put everything into. And you start out by making the standard 8x9 bed for a spawner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where's my pickaxe? There's my pickaxe. That's why I carry a pickaxe with me wherever I go. So 10, 2 for walls, and 2 for walls and 8 internal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 2 for walls and 9 internal. And once we fill it up like we need to, we end up with this. So we have one row here where the water can push in one direction, and then we have an 8x8 section here to push the water, or to push everything that way, to use water to push everything that way. Yeah, there we go. Let's say this properly. Then, of course, we have to surround this completely in a wall so that we keep the water inside our little house, place, area type thing. Oy, words fail me, though this is very common. Alright, and this is what we end up with. Nice little area that we could put all the water we could ever need into. So, and of course, once you get to this point, you can just use the center one and expand. Whoa, what the hell? Ugh, come on. Having troubles pushing against the water. Alrighty, so now we have 8 sections of water, all pushing this way and stopping just short of falling into the hole. Which is exactly what we want, because then we use the water here, and once the rendering catches up, all the water gets pushed that way. Now everything gets pushed down here, and then off in that direction. And it's 8 wide, so we can do that. So now everything will get pushed to this point right here. And this point right here is where you put your first transposer. And that's exactly how we want it too. We want the bigger hole, the input hole, to be facing upwards. And we'll have to put pipes to that later on. Now from here, we're going to need to put a sign. Did I mention that we need a sign? Well, we need a sign. We put a sign right there. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to dig out this area here. And put up some more cobblestone or whatever blocks you're using. Woo. Like that. And then from here, we have a place to put another bucket of water. So the bucket of water will go here and fall down, and then push everything in this direction. And right here is where you're going to put your second transposer. Whee! And of course, in this case, you'll need a screwdriver or a sonic screwdriver to make it point in the right direction, which is sometimes kind of annoying. And then all you have to do, again, is just run pipes. So, we shall do that fairly quickly. Oop, hop down. Okay, I'm guessing which block I'm under, and I guessed wrong. Let's try that again. Next one! Okay, so we got our pipe there. Put our pneumatic tubes in here. Alright, and then from here you can put the chest wherever you want. You can send the tubes off somewhere to be sorted or whatever. But I'm just going to put the chest here for demonstration purposes. And that's pretty much all you have to do. Just lift up the wall at least one more. That way the chickens can't easily jump out. Now, I've never had a problem where they tried to, because they instantly get pushed down there, where that's already one block lower, so they can't jump out no matter what. But I always put up walls because I'm paranoid. And you gotta keep your eye out now that night's coming, because mobs come out. Alright. And what I recommend doing, definitely have to let the water flow underneath the spawner. But what I'm going to do is put the spawner on top of this block. And then eventually I'm going to rip that block out because chickens can get stuck back there. So I'm going to steal the spawner from here because I only have one chicken spawner. Whee. Ooh. Okay. Put down the soul cage. Put down the soul shard. And we already got chickens going. Now, as we can see, the chickens get pushed into where they need to go, and then they stop on that transposer. And then the other chickens come down and push them into the water, where they will slowly drown. Now, an interesting little thing that I've learned is... I just glitched. My bad. I screwed up the spotter a little bit. Okay. There we go. Okay, you need to block off that right there. That way they don't just slide out like these guys. Anyways. So, note how the spawner only spawned one chicken. And it's not spawning anything right now. Until one of the chickens dies, or two of the chickens dies, and then some more spawn. That seems to be an interesting little thing that the soul shard spawners do. They only allow a certain number of mobs to spawn in any given area. So, that means that this thing should theoretically actually be safe to leave running. Though on my server, on adult server, on Shenaniderp, any constantly running unattended spawner is banned. So, no. I'm not going to leave my spawner running, even though this shouldn't hurt anything, but I'm not going to leave it running. I'm going to turn it off when it's done. Anyways, yeah, but you might be asking yourself, well then, why did you have such lag problems when somebody left their spawner on before? If the shard spawner will only spawn so many mobs before it stops spawning mobs? Well, it will only spawn so many mobs in a given area. And the area is probably not that wide at all. It's probably not much bigger than this particular grinder itself. But if it goes outside of that area, like if you do a long fall to damage them, or if you lift them up over and then long fall like I do right there, that pulls them outside of the area. The shard spawner doesn't know that there are more there, and keeps spawning things, thus causing major lag and major problems. Whee! Now, the advantage of this situation, you'll notice that I didn't put any redstone signal down at all. Not for that transposer, not for this transposer. Both of them will work without the redstone signal because the transposers will pick things up that are pushed into them via water. And we can see that that's happening now. And then over here, whoa, I don't think it will work if things just fall on it. So I think the water there and the water there is making it think that the stuff's being pushed into it via water. So we don't have a problem with things gathering up there. See, and that's why I put that's why I recommend taking that block out when you're ready, because chickens will get stuck behind it. So yeah, as we can see, we're already gathering up stuff, and we're actually doing a pretty decent job of it. So this is actually very useful if you want to attach it to a, what are they called? Infernal furnace, those things. So you can get the chicken nuggets. So all you have to do is add that to beef nuggets and pig nuggets, pork nuggets. And you can make your tasty morsel, or whatever it's called. Tasty treat. Whoa! Effing spider. It's gonna die now. I was gonna say, I heard another one. Anything else? No. Okay. Now, an interesting little thing about how this all works is I turned off the shard spawner, And you'd think that the last chicken through would just kind of sit on the transposer and that would be that. Well, they don't. Eventually they get bored and they start walking. And they can't walk that way because there's a wall there. They can't walk this way because there's a wall there. They can't walk this way because the water just pushes them right back. Eventually, they'll just turn around and walk into the water and drown. It's a self-cleaning spawner. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, he got bored and tried to walk this way and couldn't. But yeah, they will eventually all drown and they'll clean themselves up. That is pretty cool, actually. See, there goes that one. And he just glitched. Or did the other one just glitch too? I think both of them just glitched. Yeah, they do that with the transposers. I wonder if they do that with the hoppers too. But yeah, you could definitely do this with hoppers. Just replace that with a hopper and put a hopper underneath the water. Instead of here like this, put it underneath the water. And then everything will just flow down and fall into the hopper. Whee! Yeah, that should work. That shouldn't give you any problems if you use hoppers, because hoppers can support 2 items simultaneously and not give it, or not have a problem. Yeah, now he's got bored and walked that way into the water. Is he trying to get out? No, he doesn't seem to be smart enough to try to get out. But hey, yeah, that's a quick way to get uncooked chicken flesh. If for some reason you would need uncooked chicken flesh. And that was our goal. Our goal was to get uncooked chicken flesh and no experience points. And that's exactly what we succeeded in doing. So I'd say that was a successful mission. Woohoo! Okay, I want to show you guys this somewhat interesting and mildly disappointing thing that I just learned. I wanted to see if I could make an easy, glitchy, major glitchy. Interesting. Anyways, I wanted to see if I could make, or set up a way to get all the colors of wool without having the glitchy disappearing sheep like Compu has. I mean, his idea was a perfect idea, except the game is glitched. And the game is glitched and it causes problems and makes the sheep disappear. So that kind of sucks. So, what I wanted to try to do is get a blue sheep and then put it in a soul shard. And then using the soul shard glitch made it a tier 5 sheep soul shard, hopefully a blue sheep soul shard. And I figured, like the wither skeleton shard, it would only work once. You guys remember how we had the wither skeleton shard, it was a working wither skeleton shard, but when I popped it, it just turned into a regular skeleton shard. I figured that would be the same way with the blue sheep shard. Well, I threw the blue sheep shard up there, and we can see that it's just a white sheep. Now, if we also remember when I put up the wither skeleton shard up there, it just looked like a regular skeleton. So I figured that's just the default thing, that's all it's ever going to show. Alright, let's see what happens. So I flicked the switch and started watching white sheep fall. So, for the record, you cannot make a blue sheep shard, which kinda sucks. Woo. Still getting all these glitchies. The rendering errors. Why are there so many rendering errors? What the crap is going on? Anyways, but what we do get is all of the natural sheep. The white wool, brown wool, that's light gray wool, that's black, that's dark gray wool, and I don't have any yet, but I would assume that we'll eventually get pink wool. because pink sheep are extremely, extremely rare. But yeah, it does kind of suck that you can't have one specific color of sheep. So I'm going to have to keep working on another way to get, infinite color of one type of, or infinite wool of one type of, or one color. So yeah, it's going to be hard, but I'll figure it out eventually. I think Compu might be right on the right idea, but I think part of his problem is that he only gave the sheep a 1x1 block, just a simple block to walk around in. Maybe if he gave it a 1x2 area, it might work. I could give that a try and find out. Though that would be kind of difficult to set up. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Just thinking about it, I know exactly why Compu set it up the way he did. But yeah. Okay. I don't know if I showed this before, or if I showed this on my channel or a video before. But twilight animals like a deer or a ram cannot be put into shards. So you can't have a ram shard. A ram shard would have taken care of my wool problem, since rams spawn in like all of the colors. That would have taken care of my problem right then and there, and that's pretty much what I'd have in my place right now. However, Space figured out, and I don't know if you can see it from here. It's quite difficult to see because they spin so bloody fast. Boink. Oh, do we get a good picture? Good view? No, they're all pointing the wrong way. Oh, but you might have seen that one while he slowed down there for a second. That is an angry zombie spawner. And that guy had a chainmail headpiece. Woo. I hear them. Does that mean they're spawning somewhere else? Or is that just them making noise as they fall to their death? Anyways, yeah, so you could have an angry zombie spawner. And they drop brains and zombie flesh, just like you would expect them to. Oh, and Comp, you must be making another set of spawners right here. We're gonna have so many spawners. There's gonna be so many mobs dying. We're gonna have, like, cruelty to mobs and Shenaniderp server. As you can see, I haven't done crap with my spawn house yet. I haven't done crap at spawn for a while. I haven't done anything for a while, honestly, outside of what I've shown on the videos. Because I've been playing other games. I have one spare chicken. And I have a lot of rendering issues. It's 1 a.m. I shouldn't have a problem with rendering. Well, anyways, I'm going to wrap this episode up. I kind of have nothing else that I can show off. And to be 100% honest, I must be getting tired or something. It is 1 a.m. But to be 100% honest, I wasn't in the mood to record today. I was actually thinking about not recording at all, just because I couldn't bring myself to do it, and I don't want to force it, because then I just make boring, dull, unenthusiastic episodes, and I don't want to do that, so I didn't want to record until Space asked how to make a chicken spawner without making experience points. So what he's worried about lag. If somebody leaves his spawner on, he's worried about things building up and lagging out the server, like too many little entities of the little balls floating around. He was worried about that. So that's when I thought, you know what? I can do that. That'll take me a couple minutes, but I can do that. And that's when I started doing that, and that's when I got enthusiastic about making the episode. So, lucky Shenaniderp episode today. Woohoo! Anyways, I'm going to wrap up this episode here. Oh, one thing I do have to do, and it's kind of a shame that I have to do it, but I'm going to be honest with you guys with how many subscribers I have. I seem to have lost one since I recorded the beginning part. So, 187, I'm sorry to see you go. Or whatever number actually went. Kind of hard. You can't keep track, but yeah. So, 186, still a lot of people, and I'm glad you all are here, and I'm glad you all watch my shows. So, I will see you guys in the next episode, and as always, keep playing the game, and have fun.